program do not necessarily reflect or represent those of the owners, management, or advertisers of Pacific Telestations, Inc. This message has been brought to you by the stations of KUAM.
You're watching Buzz with Jess Lujan.
Good evening, Guam. I'm Jess Lujan. Welcome to this edition of The Buzz. Great show tonight. I have a good friend that's agreed to come on tonight. Of course, he served as the Speaker of the 15th and 16th Guam Legislature. None other than, actually, you're still at the Mooning Boy. I know you live in Jordan. You're still at the Mooning Boy. Senator and Speaker Tanaka. How are you doing, Senator? Speaker?
Thank you, Senator.
The reason why I asked you to be my guest tonight, and I know you were reluctant to this. I mean, you know, even when you were serving the legislature, you're camera shy. You're not a TV person. Yeah. But anyway, the reason why I asked you is you are a very concerned parishioner, but at Jonia. You wrote a letter to the Archdiocese, in particular to the bishop, of what's happening in our churches, between the divide that's happening in our church between the I guess conventional Catholics as we were brought up versus the neo-cats that have come about, and the context of the letter as well is not only a letter, but as the Archbishop was making his rounds and continues to make his rounds to the different parishes throughout the island, Jonia was one of his first stops. As a parishioner, a member of the council, the Jonia, the church council there, you actually asked him personally about some of the practices that the neo-cats had, in particular were the receiving of communion, where they would receive communion and not receive the communion until they go back to their seats, and I guess, and everybody, or they do it seating, and the priest will not do so until everybody else again receives the body of Christ. And you asked them, where is it again that allows that? Does the Vatican allow that? Where is it? And the Archbishop said it was permitted to us. Let me find the document that permits us to do that. And since that day, there's been a countdown as of late. Before I came out here, it's been 36 days, so many hours and minutes and seconds. Have you got to respond before you made your way over here?
No, I received a response to the many concerns that we raised, and that was during his pastoral visit. And I presented a letter to him, listing down the various questions we had and that were needing answers, but and zero response to any of the questions we brought up to him.
And you, of course, you're in line with a lot of folks who have asked questions, not even to have an audience, and even priests, of course, Father Paul and Monsignor James, who've asked to have an audience to I guess defend themselves against the accusations that they were accused of doing by the Archbishop. Some of the concerns you have, at least for the parish and the divide. Again, you're a lot closer to what is happening. I mean, you're right there in Jonia. The RMS seminary is right up there. My understanding, there are 44 or something seminarians there, and how many are from Guam? And a lot of them are imports. And it's looking like at this point, because some of our boys here that want to become priests are asking to go to other schools that they can be degreed as well, and I think it takes a long time. It's almost like becoming a doctor to be a priest, but it looks like this is a fast track.
Much shorter than that.
Much shorter, fast track, and I've listened to some of their homilies, and I'm saying, you know, are they interns in practice? But some of them are already pastors of the churches.
I guess my major concern is something I discovered much later, and thus my concern, and this is why I decided to get actively involved. I learned that the 44 seminarians cost $17,000 to educate.
$17,000 per
seminary. That's $740,000, right? And we need to find out how much money is the Archdiocese contributing to that. But even more troubling is that all 44 will be incarnated on Guam, which means these are going to be priests for Guam. Okay? And if you look at what's happening here, I think there's 7 parishes now that have neo priests, and people responded by just moving to different parishes. But if you do the math, right, 44 seminarians, takes 5 years to be able to ordain them, and they're all going to be on Guam. And you compare that to what's happening to our clergy now. They're getting old.
Yeah.
They're getting sickly. So
They're going to retire. And, yeah, sure.
in a matter of time,
Sure.
every parish in Guam will have a neo priest. And that's frightening for me. Okay? Not for me personally or for you, because we're strong in our faith, right? But our children, our grandchildren, they're going to be formed in the neo way. And there's been tremendous pushback. If you look at the postings on Jungle Watch, people are waking up now to what's happening here. And
Now, we talked about this, Speaker, in the sense of you and I, we don't have anything against the neo-cats.
Absolutely not, yeah.
You know, and in some of their testimonies, if in fact the testimonies are true, and this is what saved either their marriages, their home life, whatever it may be. I mean, we again, we know people who are of other religions that, I mean, they vow by that. I mean, they testify towards, you know, that religion, and so be it. That's fine. I guess it's in the intrusion and on how we have worshipped in the past, and how as Catholics we grew up, and how our parents and our grandparents grew up, and it's a totally different way. And you and I know that when there are changes in the Catholic Church and prayers or whatever it may be, we're given a long notice, a year notice sometimes, that prayers are going to change, be prepared for this and all that. And we definitely have seen changes over the years. But as you ask the question, where is this allowed? Where is this change taking place? Because it's happening right now, and nobody told us that this was happening. And where is it that it says this? Because normally we as Catholics, not just in Guam, but worldwide, make the change the same time.
yeah, and maybe, you know, I mean, you would have to respect an individual's method of achieving heaven, right?
Sure.
But our problem here is that they're trying to force, okay, their beliefs on us. And the Archbishop has to allow people to practice the way we've been practicing. We're very comfortable with that, and that's my fear, because it's only a matter of time before we see a total takeover. And people are now just waking up saying, no, we're happy with with the religion that we have now.
Speaker, I got to take a break, pay some bills, and come back. When I come back, I want to talk about some of the things that we see, and I don't know if it's just my eyes seeing it, but maybe yours too, as some of the changes that we're seeing in some of the churches where, you know, the icons, the statues are disappearing, being replaced by something else, and being told now that what we did before shouldn't be done. Be right back.